Let's pluck out two examples from the BRICS nations. We've got India on one side, and then we can look at Brazil. Okay, now Brazil, of course, oil exploration is poising the country to move forward in terms of its economic development. India has political reform that's taking place dramatically and a lot of expectation. Do you think these two issues or fundamental changes are going to be game changers for the ability of just those two nations to move closer to the targets that were set out in the report?
Well, I hope so, because a lot of humanity is at stake in the development and the advancement of these two nations. India has been pretty much the world's favorite for picking up its pace, leading the world in development. And there is great promise there. But it has each time failed thus far. There have been spurts of growth, but there has never been a sustained period, the same way that we've seen in China. And it matters hugely for the world that India succeeds. It must succeed. Whether it does or not is going to depend on political economy across states in India, whether the current leadership can grasp the nettle and really move the reform program forwards. I think the previous experiences that we've seen of that do not make me hopeful, do not make me optimistic. I think Brazil has been poised between wanting to be a leader for the emerging markets in different dimensions. It wants to have a sensible approach to income redistribution and income inequality, hugely important for the favelas and the urbanization in Brazil. It's been poised on developing green sources of energy at the same time that it's pushing forwards in petroleum and natural gas exploration. So it's trying to tread many different stools. And it too is a huge country, hundreds of millions of people, a lot of humanity is at stake here. Whether it will be able to push that program, I think, remains to be seen. It has seen strong political leadership, but then they have pulled back. And really, the bizarre thing is, as we look across these different parts of the world, and we argue for their improvement, for their advancement, we need to acknowledge some hard truths. And some of those hard truths is it takes strong leadership to advance the development program. We would like to think that all we need to do is sprinkle magic dust, say electoral democracy, and then magic things will happen. And the truth of the matter is, history tells us that doesn't happen. It takes the right combination of a civil society that's informed, that wants to advance, with a leadership that knows that it has to make hard choices. Some of those choices will be hugely unpopular, but it needs to undertake them. That's how we push forwards.